Parasite is easily my favourite film of last year. I actually watched this at an independent cinema, and let me tell you, I felt very sophisticated. This film is being talked about a lot recently. Everyone who's seen it loves it, and everyone who hasn't seen it is pissed off because it won Best Picture.
I don't know what Parasite is. I don't give a shit about Parasite.
This was my introduction to Bong Joon-ho, so I'm not that familiar with his style, but I will definitely be checking out more of his films after this one, because like most people, I loved it. It's rare to see a film like this do so well, and hopefully it will make people aware of other great foreign films. The film is essentially about class. It tells the story of the Kim family, who are very poor and unemployed. When the son is offered a job at tutoring the daughter of a much wealthier family, the Kims scam their way into working for them, and eventually each of them takes up a different job in the rich family's house. However, something drastically goes wrong, which ruins their plan for good. I've seen this twice now, and just been amazed at the attention to detail. Everything from the beautiful cinematography to the fantastic script and acting, it's all done so well, and it's great to see it play out on the big screen. One of my favourite things about it is that the film shows a lot just through the visuals. The film starts out and we're introduced to the Kim family. They live in a shitty semi-basement and have to deal with stink bugs and people pissing on the street. The opening shot literally shows them stealing free Wi-Fi. I don't blame them, because I do that as well. Whereas the Park family live a very easy life in a mansion that was designed by a famous architect. When a rainstorm happens, the rich family thinks it's a blessing. Meanwhile, the poor family are thinking, oh shit, my house and neighbourhood are going to be flooded. That's twice in 1 month. Even their houses are positioned away from each other. The poor family have to walk down a load of stairs to get from the mansion, which is high above ground, to their neighbourhood down below. It's a fantastic way of building the world that these characters live in, whilst also showing the class divide. On a technical level, the film is perfect. The cinematography is beautiful and extremely well done. Every shot is meticulously planned out and unique. Just things like framing and camera movement is very precise and well done. If I could take a frame from this film and hang it on my wall, I would. This is a film that needs rewatching because you will likely pick up on something the second time that you missed on the first. The editing is seamless and the scenes flow together really well. Like a lot of great editing, some of the cuts are hidden in plain sight. There's a sequence towards the end of the first half that I think sums up why this movie is so great, because everything like the editing, the music, the pacing and the cinematography fit together perfectly and create one of the most satisfying and exciting scenes in recent memory. If you've seen the film, you'll know what scene I'm talking about. The set design is very convincing. The rich family's mansion and the poor family's neighbourhood were specifically designed for the film, but you would never have guessed because the location seems so real and lived in. It's very hard to put Parasite into a specific genre. The first half is basically a dark comedy and is very fast paced, although the comedy doesn't take away from the more serious parts of the film. There's a constant build of tension throughout the first half, which makes it very exciting to watch. However, the second half slows down a bit and is really intense once you learn about what's happening behind the scenes. The two halves are very different, but they work brilliantly together and keep you engaged. The film is very exaggerated at times, although it still manages to be as realistic as possible. It's a perfectly paced movie. Every scene feels necessary in telling the story, and the film doesn't overstay its welcome. That's also one of the reasons why this is so rewatchable and entertaining. The characters are realistic and have depth. Despite the Kim family being poor, they're actually very smart. The movie doesn't follow the cliche of making them out to be idiots, which was nice to see. Likewise, the rich family don't come across as pretentious or like they hate the poor. I found myself caring a lot more for the poor family, even though what they're doing is morally wrong. All of the acting is incredible, especially Park So-dam, who plays the sister, because she stole every scene she was in. There are quite a few new actors in this, as well as famous Korean actors, like this guy who's been in a lot of Bong Joon-ho's films. Parasite has a lot of themes and symbolism, although it's very subtle.
이야, 이거 진짜 상징적인 거네.
The script is cleverly written and links things together. I really like how the film comes full circle. The music is excellent and fits the tone perfectly. I really like the opening theme, which is simple yet effective. Some of the music reminded me of the music from Wes Anderson's films. I guess it's because of all the chimes and shit. Also, there is great use of classical music, especially in the scene that I mentioned before, that's my favourite. Parasite is one of the best films I've seen in a long time, and I would highly recommend it. It's the sort of film that makes you appreciate great filmmaking, and I'm just happy that I got to see this at the cinema. Much like Oldboy, it's a film that you can show someone who usually doesn't watch foreign films, and they probably love it. Speaking of Oldboy, you should definitely check that out if you enjoyed Parasite, because it's one of the best revenge films ever, even if it is very messed up at times. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this quick video on Parasite. If you do want to see more reviews like this, then be sure to like and subscribe, and as always, I will see you in the next one.
And it pisses me off because Joker, let's talk about Joker. Okay, look at United States of America right now. What is more important to our culture than the Joker? About a movie that talks about mental illness not being taken seriously, about how people in high places look down and frown upon the poor.